Hey, this is David with the MB Quart Technical Support. Today we're going to be going over the Can-Am X3 Stage 5 installation, the tools required, and a couple how-tos on how to get this done. The installation should take approximately 3.5 hours, depending on your skill level and experience with the installation. So some of the tools required for this installation are going to be wire strippers, wire crimpers, zip tie cutters, sockets. You're going to need a ratchet, an 8mm socket, a 10mm socket, a 13mm socket, and an 18mm socket, a Phillips screwdriver, a panel popper tool, some good electrical tape, T25, a T27, and a T30 Torx bit, a 9/64 drill bit, and a 1/8 inch drill bit, a handheld battery-powered drill, a heat gun or lighter, and that's it.
Vehicle disassembly. Slide the driver's seat forward and remove two 8mm bolts. You can access these by flipping up the seat cushion. Slide the driver's seat back to access the front bolts and nuts. Use a socket and box wrench to remove the inner and outer front seat hardware. Unplug the seatbelt sensor, then remove the driver's seat and set aside all hardware. Repeat the seat removal on the front passenger side. Once all seats are removed, disconnect the negative battery cable. Next, remove the driver's side console side panel, the passenger's side console panel, and front center console panel. Next, remove two additional T30 screws, located beneath the forward edge of the top center plastic cover location, just forward of the fuse box. Gently remove the 4 visible push pin clips on the outer edges of the center pocket. Remove one additional hidden push pin under the driver's side dash. Remove the gas filler access door on passenger side. Remove 3 T30 screws from the top edge of the passenger side dash. Finally, remove the remaining 2 T30 screws on the side edge of the panel. Gently remove the passenger side speaker panel and set aside. Remove 3 T30 screws from the top edge of the driver's side dash. Drop the steering wheel position to access 2 T30 gauge cluster screws. Remove them and set them aside. Pull the panel carefully to access switches and unplug them to fully remove the driver's side panel. Remove 2 T30 screws on the lower front center console. Remove 2 on the passenger side panel. Finally, this completes your vehicle's disassembly. In the next section, we are going to cover connecting the main harness to the bus bar and running various breakout harness sections to their respective locations. Identify the bus bar in passenger side center console. Top is chassis ground, middle is constant, and bottom is 12-volt accessory. Connect the ground, 12-volt constant, and the 12-volt accessory, which will be orange, on the audio system harness to the bus bar locations. Place the rear speaker harness pigtail connections just behind the bus bar and zip tie them in place. Next, route the rear speaker harness and subwoofer harnesses and zip tie these in place. Note, the sub 2 connector stays in that area. Begin routing the main subwoofer and rear speaker harnesses along the passenger side console and zip tie where appropriate. Route the harnesses upward behind the center dash where the panel was removed for easier access. Remove the power plug to facilitate source unit wiring passage by pressing in on the top and bottom retention clips. Route the source unit wiring pigtail and 2 RCA audio cables to the area where the other harnesses have been routed. This will be on the driver's side. Next, crimp the 4 wiring connections to their matching color. Red will go to the 12-volt battery, orange, the 12-volt accessory, blue, the amplifier turn-on, and black, the chassis ground. Tape the unused wires. Use a lighter or heat gun to heat shrink and seal the crimped connections. This ensures that no moisture will penetrate the wiring. Amplifier installation. This section covers installation of the amplifiers included with the stage 2, 3, and 5 audio systems. Step 1. Attach amplifiers to your mounting plate with included hardware. Use only 3 nuts/bolts on the 400.2 2-channel amplifier due to tube frame clearance. 2. Make initial level and high-pass crossover settings as indicated. Step 3. Make initial level, low-pass filter crossover, and subsonic filter settings as indicated on the 400.1 amplifier. 4. From the top side, place the amplifier plate in the intended location behind the silver brake booster against the driver's side firewall for test fitting. 5. Using a felt marker, mark mounting holes for drilling. 6. Drill mounting holes using a 1/8 inch drill bit, 2 at the bottom, 1 at the top corner. 7. Mount your amplifier plate in place using the supplied Phillips head sheet metal screws. Connect the RCA audio cables to the appropriate amplifier according to your designation at the source unit. Step 9. Connect the electrical and speaker plugs for each amplifier as labeled. Tie up excess wiring to factory wires and avoid any moving parts. Main subwoofer installation. Quart recommends this is installed under the driver's seat. Step 1. Identify front enclosure brackets. Orientation is referenced to the logo. Left and right are stamped L and R. 2. Remove the factory-supplied aluminum spacers from rear bolts of the seat mounts. Replace with the supplied Quart spacers for bracket tolerance. 3. Load the subwoofer enclosure into the underseat position by angling the front under the support bar for clearance of the brake line and to sit level. Align rear enclosure brackets over threaded seat mounts so that they sit atop the aluminum spacers. Route wiring towards the center console area. 5. Attach the front left side mounting brackets to the subwoofer enclosure using 2 1/2-inch bolts and a lock washer on each. 6. Attach the front right side mounting brackets to the subwoofer using 2 1/2-inch bolts and a lock washer on each. 7. Attach a 1/2-inch bolt, lock washer, and flat washer through the left side seat mount bracket to the threaded insert of the left enclosure bracket. 8. Attach another 1/2-inch bolt, locker washer, and flat washer through the right side seat mount bracket to the threaded insert. 9. Connect the enclosure's wiring pigtail to the connector at the side of the console labeled Sub 1. Front speaker installation. This section covers final installation of the passenger side front speaker panel and temporary installation of the driver's side speaker panel. Final installation of the driver's side speaker panel occurs after the system is tested and gone through a thorough inspection prior to reassembly. Step 1. Locate the factory front left and right speaker panels and identify 2 mounting clip retainers and washers that need to be removed on each. Step 2. From the bottom side, gently remove mounting clip retainers as indicated. This can be done with your fingers. Do this for both passenger and driver's side. Replace these mounting clip retainers and washers in the same locations of both Quart speaker panels in your Can-Am X3. 4. Connect passenger side speaker gray wiring routed earlier to the speaker area. Red/black wires are for optional illumination speaker rings. 5. Begin to set passenger side speaker panel in place by loading the edge nearest the center with the clip retainers into the position as shown. 6. Pull the center edge of the panel up to align the clips with the respective dash receiver holes. This is a crucial step to facilitate the correct overall panel fit. 7. Next, drop the speaker edge of the panel into place. Attach lowest T30 screw into place to allow check of final panel fit and to ensure all clip holes align. 8. Secure the front speaker panel by reinstalling all the remaining clips and hardware in the same locations removed during the disassembly process. This section continues front speaker installation, focusing on the driver's side. Step 1. Remove switches on lower left of original driver's side dash by depressing the tabs on the top and bottom of the back of the switch. 2. Replace the switches in the same locations with the new Quart driver's side dash panel by simply pushing each into its mounting opening. If the vehicle has the Smart Lock differential control module, attach the underside of the new dash panel with the original 4 8mm screws. 4. Ensure the clip retainers and washers from the original dash have been reinstalled correctly before proceeding. 5. Connect driver's side speaker to white speaker wiring near the amplifier harness area. 6. Set the panel temporarily in place without attaching any hardware or clips. Do not yet plug in switches in case amplifier adjustments are needed. Rear speaker pod installation. This section covers the wiring and installation of rear speaker pods. First, connect the rear speaker harness to the main harness in the console. If illumination compatibility is used, also connect the red/black illumination wires. 2. Remove cover at the back wall above the center console by pulling on the top 3. Carefully route the rear speaker wiring from the passenger side console area into the engine area, as shown. 4. Route the rear speaker wiring to the left and right sides, using zip ties to attach factory wiring harnesses. Leave slack hanging in wheel well area. 5. On the driver's side, remove 2 T30 Torx screws over the roll cage mounting points. Gently release pressure clip and remove cover panel. 6. Next, reach down to the rear speaker wiring slack and pull upward with enough length to reach the rear speaker pod location. 7. Remove 4 5mm Allen head screws from both rear speaker pod clamps to prepare for pod installation on the roll cage. 8. Place the included rubber spacer on bottom clamp as indicated. The factory roll cage uses a 1.875-inch tubing and the corresponding single 1.88 bottom spacer. 9. Secure driver's side speaker pod clamps to the roll cage by reinstalling the 4 5mm Allen head screws. 10. Loosen the 5mm Allen screw on the swivel base to position driver's side pod to your preferred setting. Tighten the Allen screw once the final position is achieved. 11. Make 2 crimped speaker wiring connections as indicated. Illumination wiring is optional with the accessory rings. 12. Use a lighter or a heat gun to heat shrink and seal the crimped connections to ensure no moisture or penetration. 13. Using high-quality electrical tape, cover the connections with the electrical tape to insulate from moisture and electrical shorting. 14. Replace cover panel over roll cage mounting points with the original 2 T30 Torx screws. Leave wiring loose until the next step. 15. Using the supplied zip ties, secure the tape wiring on the roll cage as indicated. The following steps will be repeated on the passenger side. Repeat the installation, which includes steps 6 through 15 on the passenger side rear speaker. Initial testing. Step 1. Reconnect the battery. First, ensure the battery is fully charged. Using a 10mm socket, then reconnect the negative terminal of the negative battery cable, as indicated. Step 2. Connect the source unit. Connect the electrical plug and 2 RCA audio cables to the source unit. The front RCA outputs connect to the high frequency of the 400.2 amplifier. The green sub-RCA outputs connect to the low frequency of the 400.1 amplifier. Temporarily set housing in place, but do not yet attach the mounting screws. This allows for any corrections of wiring if needed. Step 3. Insert the main fuse at the bus bar. Step 4. Turn the ignition key to the ACC position. Push the power button on the source unit and check the system for all of the following. The source unit should light up and respond to button presses. USB input. If used, it responds when selected. AUX 3.5mm input. When connected, this should respond with an audio signal as well. Bluetooth music. Follow the pairing instructions from the source unit and test a Bluetooth source. AM and FM radio. Unless you have installed an AM/FM antenna, you will only hear static. Speakers. Confirm that all the speakers play the correct range of frequencies, lows coming from the subwoofer, mid to high coming from the front and rear speakers. Correct the left and right balance. Make sure to use the controls on the source unit to confirm left is the left side channel and right is the right side channel. There will be no change on the fader, as all speakers are on the same 2-channel 400.2 amplifier. In the settings menu, set the source unit's sub-out low-pass crossover to 100 Hz. Next, set the source unit sub-out level at 35 dB. If the speakers are playing, the amplifiers are on. Confirm settings are correct. If something doesn't sound exactly right, confirm that all the speakers are connected to the correct amplifier before making any further adjustments. This will be in the manual. You can refer back to page 9, 11, and 17 for initial amplifier settings. Fine-tuning. After you have confirmed and tested that all components are working, you can fine-tune the amplifier settings. Through hundreds of installations, we have determined the following settings are ideal for the Can-Am X3 UTV audio tune packages. Reference source unit volume level for these settings is 30 through 35 with no boost in bass, treble, or EQ settings. Gain control. It is important to adjust each amplifier gain as described in the manual. Gain controls help to balance the system sound between lows, highs, and minimize distortion. Listen for a clear, crisp audio sound. The ideal gain setting should allow full volume from the source unit without audible distortion. Vehicle reassembly. Step 1. Plug in all switch wiring on the back of the driver's side front speaker panel. Test the switches to ensure they are correctly connected. 2. Place the driver's side speaker panel into its final position. Check the fit so that all open hardware and clip holes are aligned properly. 3. Secure the front speaker panel by reinstalling all the remaining clips and T30 hardware in the same locations removed during the disassembly process. Do not forget about reinstalling the additional hidden push pin under the driver's side dash. 4. Reinstall gauge panel with the 2 T30 screws and 2 10mm nuts. With this step completed, the driver's side front speaker panel should be complete. 5. Follow the main harness from the bus bar and ensure the nuts on the connections are tight. Ensure the harnesses are secured to the factory wiring with the included zip ties. Do not zip tie any part of the audio harness or RCA audio cables to any heat or moisture sources or any moving parts. 6. Reinstall lower center console with 2 T30 screws and 2 push pins. Refer to the top of page 6 for disassembly steps and do them in reverse. 7. Place the source unit's housing in the final center dash installation location with the wiring neatly secured and zip tied in place. Attach the 4 included T25 Torx screws through the housing's mounting holes into each of the 4 locations drilled out earlier. 8. Reinstall 4 T30 screws in the center dash, 2 forward of the gear selector, and 2 additional in the upper center dash forward of the fuse panel. Once complete, reinstall the upper center dash cover behind the source unit housing. Refer to page 4 and do these in reverse. 9. Reinstall the driver and passenger center console side panels by gently snapping back into place. 10. Reinstall the driver and passenger seats with the original 8mm bolts in the rear and 13mm bolts/nuts in the front.
Thanks for checking out the video. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Leave a comment if you enjoyed the video. Make sure to check out mbquart.com for our newest product lines, and we'll catch you on the next one.